I am going to go check on the cat. I'll be right back. Alright, he's good. I'm packing for tomorrow. It's like really dark over there. Over here. That's a little better. Because we go to Fox Chase, and in case we get stuck there, or they decide to keep him, or whatever the case may be, I want to make sure that I have plenty of stuff. And I don't get caught blindsided. Like, I want to make sure I have clothes, and, you know, we'll figure out the actual plan when it happens, but if I'm stuck in Philly, I want clothes. I even packed, like, oranges and snacks, and I have all of our meds together, and a blanket, and pillows. I'm not getting stuck. Not getting stuck. Today was the day. He had a really bad night last night, and we couldn't get his pain level below an 8. That's out of 10. And that's all night long. That's like pumping him full of meds all night long. So I called the cancer center this morning about 8 and was like, you know, hey, this is what's going on. What do we do? She was like, well, we can up his meds, or she said, but better yet, you know, bring him in. Let's hook him up to an IV and give him some IV pain meds to bring his pain level down, in hopes that then the oral will take over and even things out, because sometimes that happens. So, and that, you know, if you don't do that, then sometimes then the oral meds will only bring the pain level down like a notch or two instead of bringing it down to where it needs to be. So that's what we did. We went in, 5 nurses, and about 15 to 20 sticks later, they couldn't get a vein. So obviously he was dehydrated. So they sent us to the ER. We went to the emergency room, and they put in a PICC line. So now he has a PICC line in his arm. So basically now whenever he goes in anywhere, they can just get his blood, give him his treatments, give him fluids, whatever, on his PICC line, instead of having to continually tap him, which is a really good thing. Especially with him going to be starting treatments, because even if he doesn't start treatments at Fox Chase tomorrow, he will start treatments here the following day. So that's already in the plan. We would just let them know either way when we're done. But yeah, so I'm just packing a few outfits for both of us. I have a whole bunch of like backup, like toiletries and stuff. I'll pack a bag of those, so I have that. I have some snacks and stuff. It's a 2.5 hour trip to Philly, and then you figure we come back, a 2.5 hour trip back from Philly. So there's that. And in the process, I'm also trying to get the house kind of clean. Like this, I've given up on cleaning this place because it's just impossible. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. He's in the bathroom, if you're wondering where he's at. But anyway, so I don't even know if I finished the story. I don't know where my mind is. So they put a PICC line, and they pumped him full of pain meds and fluids and such. And when we left the hospital, his pain level was at a 2, which is probably as good as it's been in weeks. So then we're hoping to just kind of maintain that through the night and get up tomorrow, get ourselves together, and go. Now, if for some reason we can't maintain that, then we will go to the cancer center first thing in the morning, and they will give him more IV pain meds to get him through on the 2.5 hour trip to Philly. That's the plan. That's as it stands right now. It is, what is today? My brain is so fried. It is Monday. That's what it is. It's Monday. I had to call off work because we didn't even get out of the hospital until 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then I had to go get meds, and then I had to, yeah. So I couldn't go to work again. But that's where we're at, and it's Monday evening, about 7:30ish. So I'm just gonna keep this running through tomorrow because I already put a vlog up today, which is my car therapy thing. So see you guys later. I'm in the hospital again. So we got to Fox Chase, and it was a 2.5-hour drive. And because it was a 2.5-hour drive, it was hard on him. And then we had to wait another 2 hours in the waiting room or so, which was even harder on him. So by the time we got into the doctor's office, his pain spiked. And the doctor's assistant came in. We didn't actually see the doctor because the doctor was out on a family emergency. So we saw the physician's assistant who gave us the rundown on the trial, which I will explain later. I'm not going into that right now. But basically his pain had spiked and he was crying and he was upset and his pain was really high and she didn't like it, so she decided to keep him overnight. So at Fox Chase basically is a medical center. Like, it's doctor's offices and outpatient, but there's a hospital attached also, but it's a very small hospital. Like, it's only like 100 beds. That's it in the whole hospital. Like, it's really, really small. It's like really small. So they wanted to keep him overnight to see if they could get his pain under control. So basically what they're doing is he's getting certain meds like every 6 hours, but then he's got the IV meds that he can get as needed. So like if he's in pain, all he does is ring the bell and they give him meds, which is good, but not good. At least I don't see it, because my thing is I can't take IV meds home. So what do I do when we get him home? Unless they're going to keep him here, which they're not. So I don't know. I don't know the answers. As far as the trial, just briefly, they do have a trial, but they want him to have the radiation done to his brain before the trial. So, but if I could show you, there's this room that they have. It's called the baby's room, and they have these couches. Like, there's one there and the one on one. And the nurse was like, you can stay there. So I grabbed my mom blanket and my pillow out of the car because I packed stuff. And I'm going to crash here for the night. This is far more comfortable than the hospital stay at Christiana. They don't have anything like this there. I think every hospital needs a room like this with just a bunch of couches like this that people can go and crash on. And it's got a door, so like there's nobody else in here. I'm the only one in here. Now there was some people in here earlier, so I got kind of scared. I was like, are they staying the night too? Because I don't think I'll be able to sleep if there's a bunch of people in the room. But there's not. But you can hear like all the people talking around. But I guess the way I see it is what it is, and at least I have somewhere to sleep. Now his sister was going to give me a hotel room, but the thing is I'm in Philadelphia and I didn't want to be far from him, but I also didn't want to be driving all over Philadelphia by myself. So I'm more content to be here than there. And I can't stay in the room because he's got a roommate. But, so that's where we're at. Pain management, which just has been a cluster mess for weeks. So I'm hoping that we'll meet with the pain management specialist in the morning and his actual doctor in the morning, and we will go from there. I'm sorry, I'm really tired. I just hope I can sleep. It's actually a pretty comfy couch, just throw that out there. I don't know, guys. I don't know what the answers are. It's all super scary, and yeah. So this is gonna end up being like a 3-day vlog because I started it last night and I probably won't end it till tomorrow. But that's okay. We'll have this. Alright, try to get some sleep. Good night. Hi. We're sitting in front of the fireplace. Okay, so let me take you back a couple of days. Okay, so we had the appointment with Fox Chase yesterday. So Monday, which I don't think we vlogged Monday. So Sunday night, we had issues getting his pain managed through the night. Like I couldn't get him below an 8. So Monday morning, I called the cancer center and the cancer said, hey, bring him in. We'll get him hooked up to an IV. We'll give him some pain meds. We'll give him some fluids. We'll get him stable so that we can get you to Fox Chase on Tuesday because you need to go to Fox Chase. So that's what we did. Well, they couldn't get a tap in his arm, so they sent us to the emergency room. We spent most of the day in the emergency room. Him getting fluids and pain meds and bringing his pain level down, which worked, brought it down to like a 2, and he maintained that all through the night into Tuesday. And then we made the trip up north here to Philadelphia. I almost said Pennsylvania, but it's the same thing, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And for the appointment, well, that was a 2.5-hour drive. Well, then once we got here early, so we ended up sitting in a waiting room in not so comfortable chairs for another couple of hours. So by the time we got into the doctor's office, his pain was at an unmanageable level again, even though I'd given him pain meds. So the physician's assistant that saw us at the time, because his actual oncologist, Dr. Olzansky, I think it is. We can't pronounce it.
He's an
incredible doctor. People spoke extremely highly of him. Like he's kind of like the Dr. Spellman up here. Like
he's like the number 1 oncologist
in the building. So
not just in the building, but probably in the United States.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know that, but
they speak
very highly of him here. So, but he had an emergency, so he didn't actually see us yesterday. So we saw the physician's assistant, and she didn't like the way his pain was being managed, so she kept him. So kept him overnight last night into today. They were pumping him full of pain meds, getting him comfortable, which he was comfortable because he was getting pain meds all through the night today. So we work through the day and we meet with a psychologist who kind of helped work through some things where the meds are causing some anxiety issues, some paranoia issues, some sleeplessness issues that's it's med related. Like he's taking meds that are causing some other issues going on. So we discussed some of that over an hour with the psychologist. And then right after the psychologist, the pain management doctor came in and we spent another hour or so talking to her about pain management. They've adjusted his meds.
They're not perfect yet, but we're getting there.
Well, I mean, they just started. We don't know how well this is working yet because they literally just started it a couple hours ago. He can still get the IV Dilaudid if he needs it for pain, but they're trying to wean him on this new pill cycle, where they've adjusted pills. They tried to take some pills away and add more dosages and change things, which she really put a lot of thought and effort into what would be working for him and what wouldn't be. So we did all that and then, kind of dilly-dallied around the afternoon. Well, we just got done with the oncologist. Now, when we came here yesterday, it was under the impression, well, not even under the impression, but with the thought that he would start a clinical trial. Here's the issue. This disease is way too quick. We've learned that. with the progression of the tumor in his neck and the progression of everything through his body, that time is of essence. Time is of severe essence when it comes to this cancer. And the unfortunate thing is because it is a clinical trial, there are stipulations. One of the stipulations is you can't have any disease of the brain in order to start the trial. And if you do, and you have radiation, you have to wait 4 weeks post-radiation to start the trial. So since he had the brain tumor, he had to wait 4 weeks after radiation, which he hasn't even started yet, before he could do the trial. So if you add up all the time it would take to get set up for radiation, to get the radiation.
We're not going to tell you what the outcome
and
was.
The bottom line is it would be 6 to 8 weeks, and he doesn't have that much time to wait for a clinical trial to start. So the doctor agrees that we need to be extremely aggressive, and we need to get out of here early tomorrow morning, and we need to get back down to Delaware, back down to his cancer center, and we need to get the immunotherapy into his body, the Keytruda.
Today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow or
if
Friday.
Possible, but Friday
at the latest.
At the latest.
And then right after that, they need to start the radiation. Because the thing is what we learned from him is not only can they do the radiation on the brain and the immunotherapy at the same time, but they can also target other parts of his body with radiation. So they can target this thing in his neck with radiation. And he did say that this disease does respond well to radiation. It doesn't like it, which is true, very true. So the good thing about that is they might be able to target this, but they might be able to target some of the stuff in his abdomen that's giving him issues, and maybe give him some comfort there.
As long as it doesn't interfere with other critical areas that are down there. If they're in areas, there's areas of this disease that are in no danger of targeting organs, then it's open game. They can sit there and target those things, and just give it a punch to help fight and benefit the Keytruda results.
Yeah, and he actually feels like it will be in benefit to the Keytruda for that to happen.
Because what happens is the dead parts of the tumors will now be floating around in the body, and the Keytruda can identify those things as being, this is what we are supposed to target. And it's a benefit all around.
Right. So the two can work in conjunction and actually be very beneficial. So that's good. So the thing is he was on immunotherapy before, and I don't know how much of you guys would remember this, or if you go back you can remember it, but they stopped it because he developed what they call colitis. Basically, he got dehydrated and he had diarrhea really bad. For the lack of better terms, he had colitis. So instead of really trying to figure out the colitis part of it, they just stopped immunotherapy altogether, or instead of maybe skipping a dose or skipping 2 doses and going back to it. And after that is when it went rampant. So the doctor actually agrees with us in feeling that the immunotherapy actually was working because it did shrink the tumor, but he wasn't on it long enough for it to continue to do more damage to the tumor. So I think after 6 weeks of being off of it, it went crazy.
Now, we asked the question, can we do a treatment here before we go? And the answer was no. 1 dose of this drug in a hospital environment is $20,000.
And insurance will not approve a treatment of that cost while he is admitted in a hospital because they feel that he is too sick for treatment. So they're discharging him tomorrow. They are going to literally make sure he's got enough pain meds in him to get his butt home, and we can follow up. They want us to follow up with pain management at home because there's pain management facilities and doctors at home that we can follow up with his new regimen to see if it's working, if it's not working, what we might need to adjust, because they really did a huge adjustment on his meds. Like, they didn't do just little tweaks here and there. They did a basic complete overhaul, if I'm correct. The only thing I'd have to double check was the one pill that they wanted to stop, whether or not they could actually do that or not.
Are we supposed to pick anything from pharmaceutical?
No,
here?
because you haven't started anything new.
So everything is just
Everything is
adjusted
as
from
it's
what I have.
aimed. It's just all adjusted levels. Like they discontinued. They wanted to. I don't know if they officially did or not. They wanted to discontinue his seizure medication because the pain management lady didn't really feel like that he still needed to be on it because he didn't have seizures before his surgery, and he's been off the surgery for a while, so they really don't feel like he needs it. And that medicine is what's causing a lot of his fatigue. The fatigue isn't necessarily from the cancer. The fatigue is coming from the meds.
And the seizure medicine is a steroid, and steroids negatively affect immunotherapy treatments.
Right, but you're also on a steroid. So I don't know what they're going to do as far as the steroids concerned either. We'll have to double check all that with the doctor in the morning. You just might not take it tomorrow. I don't know.
We don't. That's all behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, but then they, like I said, they upped his gabapentin. They basically doubled his gabapentin, doubled his fast acting pain med, and doubled his Oxycontin. Doubled it all. So she really made a huge adjustment on those meds, but it can be tweaked either direction once we see what's working and what's not. So that's the plan. Now, you guys aren't going to see all this till we get home and I put up a vlog, which he will probably have already had his first treatment by then. But
unless we can find somewhere where there's a signal.
there's not here. I've tried.
The passwords for the Wi-Fi do not work here.
Yeah, so it's like I haven't been able to upload anything. So I've just been kind of doing little clips here and there. So you get a couple of things in there. Well, we did do the short, like 2-minute video out in the yard, but that's so small that we were able to upload it. But to upload a 20-30-minute video, it's not going to happen. It would take us hours and hours and hours. And even then, it probably wouldn't upload right. So that's where we're at, guys. And you know, there's
if you could
keep the prayers coming because even the doctor said prayers. You need, keep praying, and the biggest word that came out of his mouth and has come out of other mouths is hope. He's like, there's hope. And that's all we need is hope. Hope and faith. Hope and faith.
Because it is that serious.
It is that serious, but there is hope. So as serious as it is, there's hope, and I'm going to hold on to that hope, and I'm not going to, go down that road, I'm just not, because the bottom line is there's hope that this can work, and I have hope and faith that it will. So, but I do believe, it was meant to be for him to be here, because I think this is what he needed to get that jump on the pain management. So, I mean, everything has seemed to systematically fall into place. And even though it's not great and there are a lot of downsides and negativity, and there are people that are focusing on the worst case scenario and, well, be prepared. You know what? Screw that. Because the way I look at it is my God's an awesome God and he can do a lot.
And I'll keep doing my asparagus shots.
The doctor actually really liked that.
He smiled.
As soon as I said I'm going to keep giving him asparagus, his face just went to a huge grin. So he knows. He knows that asparagus therapy can work. So.
Yeah, I think his words were, well, you can't go wrong with vegetables.
Well, it was that, but he's like, I'm not going to disagree with that. So. The most highly spoken doctor in the building agrees with my asparagus therapy. So we will keep with the asparagus therapy. We are also doing CBD, and we'll just keep doing what we can on our end to try to help things along. But because none of it's going to hurt. But the number one thing that we can have is hope and faith, and that's what we got going for us. All right, my kid's calling. So we'll see you guys in a little while.